Get paid, little shorty, get paid. 100,000 in the safe, couple thousand in the drain. Get paid, little shorty, get paid. No, I'm always on my grind, 24/7 days. Favorite color, money green. Paper, I've been on my grind since I was in the 7th grade. Had my first kid, I was only 17. Always a provider for my pack like Wolverines. But you won't find me on the mountaintop. Need no calculator, I can weigh it cause it kinda lot. Always on my top around that paper like a Michael Scott. Your boyfriend the Dwight, he want my spot, he always round a lot. Get paid, little shorty, get paid. 100,000 in the safe, couple thousand in the jeans. Get paid, little shorty, get paid. No, I'm always on my grind, 24/7 days. Get paid, little shorty, get paid. Get paid, yeah, yeah, get the money, yeah. Get paid, little shorty, get paid. Get paid, yeah, yeah, get the money, yeah. Get paid, little shorty, get paid.
Spoil everything, don't you?
I do, yeah. Sorry, I do. I had it on next to me as well. Just making sure I look good.
Evening.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. It's getting sunny again, which helps the mood.
Have you got the taste for the live stream?
I have. I really have. What about you?
Yeah. Did you enjoy Friday?
Yes.
Good, wasn't it?
It was good. It was very articulate. So very well answered questions.
One thing about Friday, you've got to forgive me. I need to explain something. Can I just show you this picture? I had an email off a lady, and we should have done it Friday. Do you remember?
Yes.
It's this here, the Volkswagen. A lady called Charlotte emailed me, and she said on the Tuesday, the 28th of April, from North London, it will be. I had it stolen, and it would be fantastic if you could spread the information about the camper van if you have time. I've tried to put all the information out on Facebook, Volkswagen enthusiastics, to help me. I'm absolutely devastated to lose. It's a Volkswagen Comet 1992 camper van, automatic. So anybody knows it or sees it should be greatly appreciated. It's upsetting, mate, when people lose things like that, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is. Because it's people's pride and joy at the end of the day. And people put a lot of time and money and effort and it's the memories that you can't get back, unfortunately, out of everything. You know, things can be replaced, but it's the memories that come with it.
I think the people with the Volkswagen get more attached, though, to them than anything else, mate, don't they?
Yeah, I think people do with motorhomes generally, because a lot of family holidays and, you know, bits like that. You only have to look on some of the forums, and they introduce their motorhome as the baby. They've all named them different. Everybody's named them different names. Yeah, and it's your second little home.
And to just now, didn't mention it before. It's dead easy if you want to come on the show. We want to get everybody on the show. We want to be a community. Pick up the phone. All you have to do is to go onto Twitter and DM me. You can follow me on Caravans and Campers at SY45RP, and I'll follow you straight back. If you've not got Twitter, don't worry. Move on to Instagram at the Motorhome Man. Follow me. I'll follow you back. DM me. We want YouTubers, bloggers, people who've got motorhomes, caravans. We want to get everybody on. If you want to ask a question, by all means. And we've got another format you can get in touch with us, Shane, haven't we?
Yep. The Motorhome Show at gmail.com.
Ooh. Good old posh there. Also, I've been thinking as well, if anyone's got pictures of the motorhome, email them to us and we'll put them up. Or if you want to be a budding YouTuber, why don't you do a 30-second video or a 1-minute video review of your motorhome? Email it to us, and you never know. What do you think, Shane?
That's a good idea, actually. Quite like that.
Full of them. You wanted to talk about ghosting, didn't you?
Yeah, that was something that. So it's something. It's somebody emailed in the other day. Basically, it's a big problem, or has been a big problem for Peugeots, and probably Fiats as well, seeing as they're all the same chassis. And when you turn the cruise control, some of the lights start to light up. Now, originally, Fiat and Peugeot did rectify the problem, but then they stopped. You know, once they got to a certain level, because it was so widespread throughout the motorhomes or the vans generally, they just stop covering it. But it is possible to get it sorted if you go straight to the main dealer or manufacturer. The Fiat dealer won't necessarily do it. It was Mick that emailed him, and basically he had no luck with the Fiat dealer, and he went straight to the manufacturer, and that was the only way you could manage to do it. Now we get to see it a lot. We use a company down south, and I think it costs about £180 now. But when it first came out, it could be £1.50 without a problem. And it just scares you when you turn that cruise control, the lights pop up, and you don't really know what it is. So something to look into. Ghosting.
Okay. When's the next one we do? Is it Friday?
Next one Friday. We've got Jason from Forefront. Very funny guy, or we hope he will be. Yeah, we hope he will be. He's Forefront, huge dealer. If they're not already, they're probably going to be the biggest UK dealer of used motorhomes.
That's it, then, show done.
But yeah, they're a good laugh.
That's us done tonight, then, is it?
Yep. See you later.
Right. Excited now, Shane. Two for one tonight. 2 for 1.
We've already got 2 for 1.
Who have we got on?
We have got Mark from the Caravan Place.
And we also have Lee from Albi Caravan Services, who obviously does all the fixing habitations as well. So get your questions in. He's here to answer all of them, and hopefully be a bit of a feature with us. But shall we bring Mark on first?
Yes.
I do.
How are you, Mark?
Not too bad. I nearly fell asleep then, all this motorhome talk there. That was the only problem. I was like, whoa.
Tell us a bit about you, Mark.
So we've got a caravan dealer in Wolverhampton, the Caravan Place Limited. I've been in the caravan industry, since probably about the age of 12. We used to have, or my father had Lichfield caravans that was on the A38 between Lichfield and Burton, so not far away from you, Shane.
Nope.
And I used to work sort of in the kids' holidays. Used to work in the accessory shop there. And then as I left school, started selling caravans, started working in the workshops there. And then when my father retired, he'd got a place over at Wolverhampton already, where we are now. Me and my sister had the opportunity to take it as a going concern, and we both went, nah, I don't want to do that. So grass is greener on the other side, sort of a thing. So we went off doing our own things, and then after about 12 months, it was like, actually, that wasn't a bad gig that we got there. But by this time, my father had sort of completely shut down. Luckily, we'd still got the premises, so I came back in, and that was probably about 2006, something like that. Started with about 5 vans and just built up from there. And we're still building up now, still trying to progress, move forward, and move with the times now, obviously.
You got storage as well, have you?
Yeah, we do caravan and motorhome storage. So yeah,
As well,
do that. Pardon?
You do the servicing as well?
Yeah, we don't do a huge amount of the servicing. We try and concentrate on our own sales vans, to be honest with you. But we do a little bit of servicing as well. So
with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Dirty Trucker, good evening. Hope as well. Hope you're well, Dirty Trucker. Talk of the devil, Shane.
Jason.
See you Friday, sir. Friday. Okay, next person we're going to bring on. Known him a long time. Albi Caravan Servicing, Lee.
Evening, gents.
Evening. Same with you, Lee. Just tell us a bit about yourself, matey.
Well, I sort of fell into this, to be fair. But looking for a change in, literally. Was looking for a change of career, really. I was bored of what I was doing. Looked into doing this and went off doing the caravan servicing. Did that for a couple of years alongside my other job, and then got approved, and that was it. Boom, took off like you couldn't believe. Packed up the other job, went off on my own, and then the rest is history, so to speak.
Enjoyed?
Love it. That's the best thing about it, is I don't mind getting up to go to work in the morning. I love what I do. Not a lot of people can say that.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, no,
Sorry?
I wouldn't be doing anything different, to be fair.
So, Mark, how do you see everything going forward?
I think we're going into hard times and change. Definitely, we've got to change the way that we've been used to dealing with people. It's completely going to change. But yeah, I don't think people are going to want to go abroad. Sounds a bit bad, really, but we've got flights booked to go away later on this year. And I think even if they turn around and now said, yeah, you can go, no problem, we're not going to go away. I don't think it's worth the risk. So, yeah, I think people are going to want to stop in this country. If we get this good weather, if we get a good summer, it's why go away anywhere else?
I think a lot of people are going to change their habits rather than going abroad, Mark.
Yeah, definitely.
I also think as well, caravans are going to do a lot better than motorhomes because of the lower value.
Yeah, I hope so. I think the beauty of it is that you sort of, well, I don't want to diss the motorhome side of it, but when you get to site, you've got your car, you get in your car with the kids, off you go. Whereas the motorhome, you've got to really plan it with the motorhome, haven't you? And I don't know whether when you've got kids and family, it's as easy in a motorhome. But I'm probably biased.
Okay, Lee, on the pressure already. Stephen Haywood says, in these times of lockdown, do you think it's a good idea to overinflate your tyres by about 5 psi, as they will be at the standstill for a longer period?
Are they talking motorhome or caravan?
Do both, mate.
If they're talking motorhome, I mean, there's nothing stopping you jumping in it. You've got to start the engine up to charge your battery a bit. So move it forward, move it back a bit, move your tyres around. Caravan wise, I mean, if it's going to be sat for a long time, winter wheels are a good thing to invest in.
And what do the winter wheels make a difference with that?
You can take your wheels off completely, and then they're completely off, and it's a good security thing as well, because your caravan's not going anywhere with them metal blocks stuck to the side of them.
I think a lot of people have got motor movers on the caravans as well, so they can prop the motor mover on, move it forward a foot if they've got space. So again,
that's a good shout. That's a good shout, that is.
Yeah, there's no reason not to.
Oh, Stephen, probably you, Shane. This is hello. Do you buy old motorhomes from what year?
It all depends on what it is, how old it is, condition, and everything like that is the best way. If you just drop us an email, and I'll write it on the. I'll get in touch with you during the show or just after, and just drop us your details or what the motorhome is, and I'll get back to you.
This is obviously aimed at Mark from Stephen. Other countries have less deaths than the UK, so the higher risk is here.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a full. I think we've put the death rate out from everything, from all settings. Whereas I don't know whether all countries have done that. In all honesty, so I don't know whether. Yeah, I don't think we're seeing full true figures from everywhere. But if you're going away in your caravan, you can social distance, and I think social distancing and just being sensible is the key now. And what better way to do that on a caravan site, away from everybody? You've not got to come into contact with anyone. You've got your own shower, you've got your own toilet. You can go down to the beach, stay away from people. So why do you need to come into contact with anybody? You don't need to go on a plane. If you go on your motorhome abroad, you're probably still going to have to get onto the ferry. And I suppose there is ways to do it where you can stop in your own motorhome, but I think England's a lot safer.
Anything to that, Lee?
I was just going to say, actually, it'd be interesting to see, once all this is over, how many caravanners actually start using the facilities in the van. Because a lot of caravanners don't use the showers and toilets as a motorhomer would.
That's a great point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something that we hear a lot. So when we go to buy a motorhome, well, we've never used the shower. We've never used it. We only use the toilet if we need to. We always use the on-site. But when it does come to open up, are all the toilet blocks going to be blocked off? And you've got to use the onboard facilities. It's a much safer way to do it.
I think that's definitely going to be.
How do you think you're moving forward from caravan servicing type, Lee?
For returning to work?
Yeah.
At the minute,
I want the services and everything else.
The problem I've got at the moment is a lot of storage yards are closed, a lot of campsites are closed, so people who are on seasonal pitches you can't get to, storage yards you can't get to. People still want me to actually go to the house and do the stuff on the drive, which at the minute I'm not prepared to do. Going forward, it's going to be tricky because when I do return to work, if those sites are still closed, then I've got to move those around. There's going to be a lot of planning involved in actually going back to work. It's not just going to be a case of get up Monday morning and start again. It's going to be quite difficult.
Shane?
Yeah, we're hearing a similar thing, to be fair, where there's people that want to, move the motorhome around or sell the motorhome or get more details or get the bit out, get the bits out of it, and they just can't access it right now. Some can, some can't. It just depends on the facility.
Mark, is there anything you're going to change?
Well, not everything, but 90%. So the way that we've sort of worked in the past is going out the window. It's going to be 99% appointment only. We're obviously going to put social distancing in. We're putting sinks around the pitch now so people can wash their hands, because we've been told washing your hands is the key. With a whole lot is, and I think we're going to be a lot more internet based. We're going to do like 90% of the deal via internet. Hopefully get people in, look at the caravan. We're going to put the measures in where people feel like they're comfortable, safe to come and see us. That's going to be our key, and that's what we're going to sort of really go to town on, and make sure people are safe. If they're going to come out to us, they need to be safe.
And the other thing, Mark, is this the motorhome and caravan world isn't that forward thinking when it comes to the internet and bits like that. You know, if you go and see a car, the chances are they've got a video of it, a walk around video of a description and bits like that. There's going to be a lot of dealers that are going to get a bit of a scare, I think, these next few months about how to bring it into this year of 2020.
Yeah. Lee, hi
Definitely.
guys. Hi guys, just doing some odd jobs on the motorhome. I had to replace a storage door outside catch, but holes are elongated. Can't get correct screws. Any idea on how to fix it? Is it intermittent?
It's what you've got room. Have you got room for a bigger screw, slightly bigger screw? I mean, the other thing would be to, depending on what type of catch it is as well. I mean, if it's something that's going to be on there permanent and the old one's broke off like a door catch, then maybe put some Sikaflex or something behind it just to hold it in place. Means if it does break again, it'll be a bit of a pig to get off, but at least it'll hold it there.
Okay. One for the people out there. What do you think is going to be the best way to buy your motorhome and caravan? I think we'd all be interested in that as well. On what would you want to do to buy your motorhome and caravan? Would you still be coming to a dealer? Would you do it internet based? So just put something in the comments so we can have a look, because we're quite interested in, to be honest. So anything, Shane?
Yeah, it will be very interesting. I mean, will people trust videos when they're getting put online? We found it because the amount that we put on, there is a name to a face, just makes it a bit more trustworthy rather than just having an ad with photos on. And whether people want to come in and feel safe enough to do so, it will be very interesting going forward. It really will, especially to some of the big dealers where you get a lot of high traffic.
how are you going to do yours, Lee? And what are you going to put in place? How you?
What, when I go back to servicing?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite lucky as I've probably got one of the best self-isolating jobs as it is. You know, once I've got a set of keys off someone, they can go away, leave me alone, and I can just carry on. The big thing for me will be making sure that the van's empty and not too much stuff's got to be moved around to you know, to be able to carry out what I do. I'm already thinking of, rather than taking all my tool bags in, you know, and have everything in the van, it's going to take me a little bit longer, but just get the equipment I need to do each individual job and then put it back in the van rather than have me stuff spread around all over the van. And it's
so you're going to be tidy now, then, are you?
Try. I'm not promising anything. I could do with a little oppo for that, just to keep everything tidy.
What about you on that point with your servicing side and everything, and people bringing the things in, Mark?
We normally try and do it over, so people can drop it off on a weekend and pick it up the following weekend. So it might just be that literally we leave it for till the Tuesday. We service it on the Tuesday, and then we can sort of seal up the door, put a little sticker on the door, say to the customer, look, we've last time anybody was in the caravan, we disinfected the caravan. And I think as long as we're just sensible, and it's just trying to find ways, just putting the confidence in people where they go, actually, they've sealed up my door, and now there's a little note in here to say that it's been disinfected. Nobody's been in here for 3 days. Everything's going to be safe. I'm not going to have any risk of catching anything. All of our staff, I don't know what the government guidance is going to be, but we're all going to be wearing gloves. We're all going to be wearing masks.
How many staff have you got?
7 in total. So,
will you stagger them?
Yeah, I think that's going. I think the government guidance, and I think that we're going to start seeing places open up towards the end of this month. And I think it's going to be a staggered approach. It's going to be sort of reduced hours, maybe opening at varied times. And again, as a business, we need to keep people on furlough for as long as possible to see what's actually happening. Are we going to see big hordes of people come through the doors, which is what we all want? But if that doesn't happen, we need to have something in place to sort of back that up. But I think from the last 2 weeks, the amount of inquiries from people that sort of are ready now to sort of go, hang on a minute, I've got itchy feet, I want to be out there, we've had some nice weather. I think, and again, from talking to people, for sort of inquiring, it does seem like more people are going to want to stop in this country. The
key is opening the holiday park, so
yeah,
that's the key.
Again, it's just making sure people are safe.
Yeah. Wonder if anyone can help me with. Now, it's actually put underneath, Lee. It's a Truma combi boiler. Is it thermostatically controlled? If so, where is that normally? He's put there. If you see, oops, Truma.
Is he looking for the water or the heating? The water heating is obviously thermostatically controlled. And yes, the room heating is, there's normally a little black dome somewhere within the caravan, depending on whether he's talking of heating or water, really. The water one, there's nothing he can do. It's preset on the panel, and yeah, it's controlled from little thermostats within the wiring harness.
A bit vague there for you, Lee, wanted.
Yeah.
Shall we do a quiz?
I think we should.
Swift quiz?
Yeah. What you got for us?
When was the first motorhome and caravan produced, and what was it? Does anybody know?
Not a clue.
Did you have one, Jace?
He's still got it.
I have sold a few of them.
I'm just trying to think if you was alive around that time, Jason. Were you in your 20s at that point?
No. No. Anything coming in? When was the first Swift motorhome produced? And what was it? And when was the first Caravan? And what was it? Now, Anthony's just saying, Lee, sorry, I'm being vague. Sometimes it's created too much. There you go. It's created too much heat.
That's if it's creating too much heat. Yeah, if it's creating too much heat, I'd say it's probably got a stat fault. You'd have to test the resistance on the thermostat to be sure of.
And hot water. So he's obviously about heating and hot water.
Yeah. See, the water they've got a safety cutout anyway, so that they won't overheat beyond what a maximum temperature that the thermostat set at to protect it, so it'll cut out. But yeah, I'm just reading his comments there. It need to check his thermostat really within the room. I mean, unless you've got idea of how to test resistance and things like that, it might be just worth giving his local engineer a call just to give it a look over.
Anyone know anything about the Swift?
Still think that let's leave that for a couple of minutes. Let's just get a few answers in, see what people say.
All right, where do you want to move to next, Shane?
Okay, I reckon we should ask these guys a few questions.
Okay. Mark, what's your favourite caravan or motorhome?
It's obviously got to be a caravan. I tell you what, there's probably not one, and I'm not sitting on the fence. There's some real good different makes and models, and there's not just one that sort of stands out. I'd say best built, probably Coachman, and that's probably because they don't build as many, so they are just a little bit better built because they're not banging them through like Swifton and Bailey, etc. But to be fair, I really like the Sprites. They're a cheap brand, but they're built well. They're light. 90% of family cars can tow them, and I think that's probably my favourite brand. Any of the Sprite.
So
Shane,
what would you have? Yes.
What is it you're drinking, Dirty Trucker wants to know? I was thinking that myself.
Yeah, I couldn't make it to the toilet. No, there's a company.
Shane Grills.
Yeah. So there's a company down south called Lily's, and they are a cider maker, and they do some really nice ciders. So that's what I'm drinking. Unfortunately, it is a bit too easy to drink, but at least it's a low alcohol rate. But yeah, Lily cider.
Go on, you're on about the caravan. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So Mark, what would be your pick if you were to have one yourself that you was going to keep?
Doesn't as long as it was sort of Swift or Bailey or Coachman. I'd just go for a six.
Where's that fence you're sitting on?
Twin axle, 6 berth, end washroom, big separate shower and toilet at the back. But there's, and I'm not just sitting on the fence. I've had a cracking Coachman, that layout, and again build quality. The only problem that you've got with that is the heavy. The Bailey, again, some really nice Bailey unicorns. Build quality is a little bit better on those. But again, probably the Swifts. Anything in the Swift with 6 berth, fixed bed, end washroom, L-shaped layout at the front, that ticks our boxes.
Lee, favourite caravan or motorhome?
See, I've gone from caravanning to a motorhome. But caravan-wise, we were debating whether to have another one before we got the motorhome, and we were looking for something 6 berth. 6 berth twin axle with the end island bed. and the centre, shower, washroom, and then the lounge. Again, when you're talking of quality of them, Coachman, definitely. As Mark said, they don't build as many, and they just are a better build. Again, the sprites, they're as good as now, I believe, the Deere Swifts. You know, they're completely timberless apart from a top layer and the floor. So, you know, you don't have the damp issues with them that you used to have. So yeah, they are a far better van now. So Coachman or a Swift or a Sprite, would caravan wise, motorhome wise, I do like Auto Trails. I am quite a big fan of the Auto Trails. If I was going to take it around Europe, Auto Trail fine in the UK. If I was going to take it around Europe, I'd have a Naus.
Okay.
Because the build quality is superb, absolutely superb on a Naus.
Is that through servicing them?
Yeah.
That's actually two Motorhome makes that I didn't expect you to say.
No, it's caravan or motorhome. I wouldn't have a Bailey any day of the week. No offense to anyone who's got a Bailey. I just see such poor build quality in them on a regular basis, and the same issues. You know, I could just service 5 Baileys in a week, and 3 of them have probably got the same issue. It's terrible.
Like?
Damp mainly.
Yeah.
You know,
is that from under the bed?
Depending on what they are. I mean, the old Alutex had the problems in the lockers, around the front end, underneath the beds, and they did away with those lockers. And then why they decided to put that roof strap across the top, which is now as big an issue as it was with those front lockers. It's, you know, it's really, it's shocking really that something that people spend so much money, and that is across the board. You know, all vans have issues. None of them are faultless, but yeah, Baileys are probably one of the worst that I find have issues with damp.
Surprised me, Shane.
Yeah, I did more with the Horse Trail and the Naus bit. Sorry, it was Naus, was it?
Yeah, Naus. If I was going to Europe and traveling Europe, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously you don't come across many Naus, really, do you? Compared to all the other makes and models.
No, not to all the others. I have got quite a few customers with Naus motorhomes. Caravans, not as many. There's a few, but yeah, the new Naus vans that I service, they're a really nice van, and the build quality is fantastic.
What excites you then, Mark, on a caravan? Not profit.
You've got to pay the bills. Yeah, no, there's not anything particularly. I like some of the Lunas. The design of the Lunas were really good. It's just a shame that they couldn't be built and put together properly. But and the 8 foot wide, I think the 8 foot wide vans now. That's I'd pick an 8 foot wide over anything. If I was going to cite it, I don't like towing 8 foot wide vans. But yeah.
I assume you still need a commercial for the 8 foot wide, do you? Or
most of them are cited, and I've got a feeling if you have a look in the paperwork, but there are a few. I think that some of the Buccaneers you can tow those with a 4x4. So, and again, 90% of the bigger vans, it's going to be heavier, so you're getting onto sort of pickup truck, and a lot of them are just cited, so it's just literally a van or a pickup truck or a big 4x4 that you can tow it with because of the towing limits on there.
So I guess that's the people that have got a place that they like, whether it's in Devon or Kent or somewhere like that, they really like, and they just want to site it, stay there for the year, and then potentially move on for the next year without having to sack it. It's a bit more permanent. Yeah.
No, at least you can sort of, if you don't like the site after 12 months, off you go somewhere else. And again, I think over this next 12 months, we're going to see a lot more people move into a sited van where you're not going to be towing around and sort of hitching up and coming into contact with more people.
Can I just ask, Mark, On the subject of 8-foot vans, what's your thoughts in regards to storage, with having storage yourself?
We've got enough space in between the caravans, so it doesn't really cause us an issue. And there's so few out there at the minute that it's sort of every 1 in 4 sort of a thing isn't going to make a lot of difference in the space. But I know I've been to some storage yards myself, and a 7'2" van, you literally can't open the door. So yeah, they're going to have to lose a van out of the lineup. And I suppose that's a real nightmare as well, trying to work on service a caravan, trying to get underneath of it when you can't even open the door that close.
Yeah.
Just thinking back to what you said a second ago, Lee. I think Nouse, it's the Nouse Tablet group, isn't it, that they are part of?
Yeah, they are.
You've also got Weinsberg, and then you've got the big boy, which is the Morello. So you'd hope it'll take some quality from the Morellos at £200,000-300,000 a piece.
I was going to say, just not the price tag.
Yeah.
Jason, your miles out on 1904. And also first RV built on an automobile. Yeah, the first Swift Motorhome. What year and what was it?
Jason, listen.
Neil Lowes, can you buy a good motorhomes 2-berth for 25,000 low mileage?
Definitely,
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt, there'll be quite a, especially your auto cruisers, auto sleepers. They're very prominent for 2-berths, aren't they, Jason? So there should be plenty around for that.
Yeah. Oh, staycation, that word again. People going to stay on one site. What do you think, Mark?
Well, looking at his flag.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's just limiting the risk down, isn't it? So I think it makes sense. If you're all set up there, why go anywhere else? Why come into contact with more people?
Jason, it was the first Swift motorhome.
I like his knowledge, though. You know.
What's your favourite part?
I'm sure.
What's your favourite part of the job, Lee?
Every day's different. You know, I've come from an engineering background where I went into that job because I don't like a repetitive job. You know, I want something of a good variation. And at the end of my engineering career, you know, before I started doing this, it had become that every day was the same. And yeah, that's the biggest part of it for me. Is people say to me, you must get bored just servicing caravans. No, every van is different. You're different people, different places. Every van's got different issues, you know, certain apart from Bailey's. But yeah, so it's just, yeah, the variation of it all. And you're outside. I mean, some days I can be on a site and you look across, and I'm lucky I living in Shropshire, that we've got some fantastic areas around us, you know, and
it's a great place to go to work, though, isn't it?
It's absolutely stunning. You know, I quite frequently, you know, my Facebook feed or my business page, you know, I'll post a picture up from a site, and, you know, great view from the office today. And, you know, it's all your mates are sat in their office or are on a building site looking at a brick wall. So yeah, that's the biggest part of it for me is getting out, and every day's different.
So what was the engineering background you came from before then, Lee?
I was a mechanical engineer at a big reclamation plant. I actually did my engineering apprenticeship at a laundry. We got made redundant from there, and then went on to this reclamation plant and worked there for 14 years. But yeah, it was bored of it by the end. But then again, to be fair, I think the engineering background stands in good stead for moving over to what I've done, because I've got that technical knowledge to sort of look into things a little bit deeper than other people might, you know, and fault finding and things like that.
Yeah, I think there's a few similar people who do the same as what you do, and they've all come from engineering backgrounds. It's a good way of transferring your skills over.
Yeah.
Dirty Trucker, yes, it was 1986. What model was the motorhome? Well done, Dirty Trucker. What about yourself, Mark? What's your favourite part?
Yeah, sort of meeting different people. working outside. I don't know whether it'd be the same working for somebody. So I think that's part of it, working for yourself. And again, we used to go out quite a lot buying caravans, so you'd meet different people, and again, meeting different people. Sometimes when you're going out buying vans, it's not always the best circumstances. They're selling the caravan, either they've got a terminal illness or divorce or whatever, so that can sometimes be a little bit funny, and you can end up putting your foot in it with something. But the variedness. It's no day's the same. And like, every day when you sort of go and you're fighting fires, there's something that crops up that you didn't expect, and puts you on your back foot, and the whole day's just gone to rack and ruin. But then at the end of the day, you look back and you think, blimey, how on earth did we get through that day? How have we managed to sort all that and do it? And I think it's a challenge. Every day is a challenge, and it's good fun. 90% of the time.
Just a quick, Mark, yes, it was a Contiki. You're correct, Mark. It was the Swift Contiki 1986. All we need now is when was the first Swift caravan? What was the make of it?
And bigger than that, to the nearest pound, how much was the first caravan by Swift? That'll be interesting.
That's way before my time.
Did you have to do
right.
Lee? Did you have to do much to pass any tests for the caravan service in Lark?
To become approved, I mean, it's quite. I went down and did a foundation course with the Mobile Caravan Engineers Association, which gives you a basic understanding of servicing a caravan. From there, I went home and serviced my caravan about half a dozen times, just to get a feel for it, and to be more comfortable in what I was doing prior to going out to people's houses. Then obviously you have to do a gas course for your gas competency certificates. And then when you go on to do your approved workshop, you've got to do electrical qualifications, and your caravan service awards. So there was quite a bit to do, but I also did all the product courses, so Truma's courses, Alda, Alco, BPW, Whale. I did all those. The only one I haven't been to is Dometics, because theirs is an invite. I have had an invite for it, but they normally give you an invite with about a week's notice, and it's normally around March, which is the busiest time of the year, so there's never a chance that you're getting on that.
What do you find the typical standard is throughout the industry with engineers?
They're all fantastic. There's good and bad in all, isn't there? Yeah, there is in any industry, isn't there? There's good and bad. There's dealers. I do a job. I've got one customer, and he bought a caravan from a dealer, and the guy from that dealership will ring me and say, Lee, can you go and have a look at this on this gentleman's caravan? And I just invoice them. They're a pleasure to deal with. Other dealers won't even take a phone call from me because they see me as competition. But yeah, like I say, there's good and bad in all. Jason.
There is.
Why are you looking at Mark?
I'm looking up at you.
I'm looking at
Available today, said Auto Sleeper Nuevo and Kitchen Good Choice. Obviously referring to the 25k one, Shay.
Yeah, between that and the Tracker, they're probably the most popular two British motorhomes, two-berth motorhomes. And they've been around for a long, long time now as well.
Dirty Trucker, what do you think of Island Bed? The ones I've seen are high up. I bet he's on about motorhomes, isn't he?
Mm.
I'd have said so, yeah. The Island Beds, they're probably lower than the transverse beds, I'd have said, as a general rule. The Baileys, your favourite brand, Lee, they do an Island Bed model, and that tends to be quite high up because it's got two great big drawers below. Some of them are quite a bit lower. Like, for example, there was a Luna motorhome who obviously have gone now, but they had quite a low Island Bed. You just got to find the right model. But there are some lower ones there.
He also got the year of the Caravan. I don't think anyone's going to get the Caravan shape. It was
No, I
Ken
don't
Smith
think-
who started Swift.
I don't think they'll get the name, but it's to the nearest pound. What do you reckon, Mark? How much was the first Swift Caravan?
It's got to be in about 40 quid. Miles out.
Lee?
Lee?
Miles out. Or...
250.
Ooh.
You've won nothing. Well, not too far away.
Go on, Shane.
Okay, so it's called the 10, and it was £289. That bears no relevance to me whatsoever today, but it sounds cheap.
Stephen, we went to Amsterdam and Belgium in February, missed our Easter holiday to France, and have a crossing in late July till August. Unlikely we'll be able to go, but if we can, we are going staycation now. That was
Yeah, that's fair
Turnilling.
enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, as we said earlier, there's not a safer way to go to Europe. There really isn't. You're in your own little home.
No.
You've got your own bathroom, kitchen, shower, bed, living room, the lot. Why not?
Evening, Phil. What else have we got? Dirty Trucker wasn't. I think Dirty Trucker's Googling.
Alexa.
Available today probably wasn't Googling.
No.
So, what's your worst part of the job, Mark?
I think it's probably the same with anybody who runs their own business. It's the time that it takes up. So you lose family time. Our busy period is through the summer, so we don't really get to have enough time to go away through the summer. So it's normally then through the winter when it's darker. And that's probably the only real drawback is you lose time with the family. And again, that's you only get one chance to see the kids grow up. And 99% of the time, you'll be thinking about work, something about work. Even now, when we're closed, we're still thinking about work. So you don't ever get to sort of 110% give your time to your family sort of a thing. And you have to make time, which obviously I try to do as much as possible. But having your own business, it takes up a lot of time, and that's the only negative. I don't see any other negatives at all, to be fair.
And I guess with this lockdown happening, it's probably the most time that a lot of people will ever get to spend with the family and kids. In such a bad time, you know, there's quality time that people will get with the kids will be absolutely, you know, unreal.
Yeah. It's just a homeschooling then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of them are ready to go back to get them back to school, and so are the kids. But you know, it's nice while it lasted.
Yeah.
Anybody tried homeschooling?
Yeah, it's awful.
Have you not learned much then, Mark?
I've not learnt a thing. Did you not see off the quiz?
I swear they get the answers wrong just to wind me up.
Yeah. They know it all. They know everything absolutely perfectly. And it's like, we're going to tick his box today. Come on.
Do you know what I'm going to do when this is all over? Get a big bunch of chocolates, a big bunch of flowers, and go and give them to the teacher.
Teachers, yeah. We don't realise, we haven't got a clue what they have to put up with, have we?
No.
Yeah.
Lee, what's the worst part of your job?
Normally, when I look at my phone and I see Jason Motorhomes direct come up across the screen.
Oh, now what?
No. It's very much the same as Mark, really. I mean, you don't realise when you work for someone else the amount of time that's involved. You know, people think you're earning massive money. You're not. You know, I was probably better off financially in an engineering role than I am doing this. Because of overheads, etc. But it's also when you think of the hours you actually work, you know, and when you take into account all that and break down the costs, you're not earning as much. And yeah, you do a lot of hours. It's about the only one really that is running the business that can be a downside. Other than that, no, I don't really have a lot of bits that I don't enjoy about it, other than your phone calls.
Cheers. Just going back to that Swift Contiki, 1986 when they first come out. They've evolved, haven't they?
They have, yeah. The
For a
prices
Contiki, yeah. Yeah.
They kept going. They're a bit like the Swifts are like the Fords, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have got a very big range of motorhomes. I mean, they've obviously what me and Jason saw at the show, which was a Swift Edge right at the bottom, which are mid-40s in price, all the way to the Swift Contiki Dynamic up to 146 plus. I mean,
Mark, what? Sorry, I've just cutting on this. Sorry, Shane. Mark, my in-laws have purchased a caravan. What's the chance of being stopped with collecting it? Are you? No one's picking vans up. Are we?
Yeah, no one's going to pick a van up from ourselves, and I can't see any business. So if it's private, I've seen when we've been out shopping or whatever, I've seen caravans on the road. I spoke to the council last week actually because we'd had a customer said that they'd been to have a look at a caravan at another dealership. Why can't we come and look at one at yours? And I'm going, hang on a minute, we're supposed to be 100% closed. We shouldn't be letting anybody on. And the council says, yeah, no way on earth should people be coming to look at your site, let alone towing a caravan around.
I agree with you.
We will let people, if, as I say, the storage is closed, if they've got a caravan out and it's on the drive and they want to put it back in storage, then we will allow that. But no way would we let a caravan go off site, either storage or the sales site. So, yeah, that wouldn't happen from us.
How many caravans have you got in stock?
We're down a bit at the minute. We've got about 37 at the minute, I think, in stock. So we're
stock.
Normally 40 to 50. But I think again it's probably going to pay dividends having a little bit less stock over the next coming months. The only problem that I do see is there's going to be a shortage of caravans and motorhomes. 100% there's going to be a shortage,
especially 2020 models.
Yeah, there's not. They're not going to come out of the factory, are they? No. And again, the stupid thing is they're allowed to manufacture. So I don't understand, to be fair, why the caravan manufacturers aren't there pumping the stuff out. I know a lot of the manufacturers.
Something I thought the other day, because depending on how long they're closed down, will they have a 21 model?
July, normally they've got the 21 models ready for, so yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, the caravan manufacturers seem to be some of the first people that actually stopped working.
Yeah.
It was quite odd, to be fair.
They could have a limited edition.
It's going to be very limited by the end of the
year. On the motorhomes, what do you think of having 3-point seats under the sofa? I think you lose lots of storage.
Yeah, anyone? So I mean that's talking mainly about the eldest, and now Shaston, I think Benamar do them as well. Yeah, you do lose a lot, but there's probably only eldest that really promise births and seated people at the same number. So there's plenty of options without having to go down them. It depends what you want from it, because obviously when you have got the bench seats at the front, it is such more of a livable lounge area. It's so much more comfortable than having an L shape where you've lost some of your leg space. It just all depends.
I think Anthony's seen the future. Beware, in 20 years, this country will be run by kids who are homeschooled by alcoholics.
Cheers.
Here's a good question. Available today. Will we have manufacturers go bust? How bad could that be?
Well,
I don't think they will.
I think the government supports really help some of these manufacturers out. I think that's the only thing you can say. What do you reckon, guys?
I think the only caravan manufacturer that may be at risk will be Luna.
Yeah,
because there's still a lot of uncertainty around Luna at the minute with the takeover. And I think if any were to go under during this, it'd possibly be them.
Yeah,
So
they may think twice.
Right. So what is the situation with Luna? Because obviously we lost the motorhome side of things last year, but I'm not up to date with the caravan side. What's the latest on that? Do you know?
The Luna Caravan Group was taken over by a company called Luna Automotive, and they've carried on with where the old company left off. Really, the big problem's been with the warranties. With what they will on warranty, and obviously people who've got 2-year-old vans, 3-year-old vans that they think have still got masses of ingress warranty now haven't, and it's put a lot of people off buying a Luna, to be fair, from my customer view.
Did they say they were going to honour the warranty for 3 years, and that was the cut-off? Then it was 3 years, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think from the last I heard that even some of the warranty, if you've got a 2-year-old van with warranty and there's a damp issue with it, then the cost for the repair is actually split 50-50 between the customer and Luna. So, even though they're saying they've still got warranty on them for water ingress, they're actually not giving full warranty on it. They're actually splitting the cost with customers.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. That is interesting.
Going back to Paul Anderson, it's a private sale. I think he's on about he's picking this caravan up. That's a private sale.
I think the best way to put this, if you got pulled over whilst towing a caravan back by the police, you would 100% get fined. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is the risk worth it at the minute?
Unless it's essential.
Yeah. If it's for NHS workers or whatever to put them in to isolate, then fair enough. But you've got to calculate that risk and add everything up. And is it worth it?
So this must come back around to valuations dropping like bricks.
Quite the opposite, because you'll have a shortage of stock, and then because everybody needs to go away or will be going on holiday still, motorhomes and caravans are probably the safest and best way to do it for the next year or so. So I think they'll maintain, certainly.
Yeah, I don't see prices dropping anytime soon. If anything, going up.
And the other thing is the dealers can't afford them to drop. Because if you have everything go down $5,000 across the board, you're going to lose probably 50% of your dealers.
There's no reason for them to drop, though, is there?
No, because the new motorhomes and caravans are still going up in price every year. The cost of materials and labour and everything like that. So they won't drop. Certainly not. I'm sure of that.
Okay. Entertaining, guys. Getting good topics. Got to go. Take care. Paul Anderson, thanks, guys. Yes, I get that, but the bigger picture of the common economy is rough. Just quickly, Lee, has anybody rang to cancel services booked in later in the future?
No.
It's all been through you cancelling.
Yeah, I finished on the 24th of March. Of everyone I've called to postpone and tell them, when I know I can go back and I'll rearrange. Of those, I've had 3 have said, leave it till next year. We're not gonna use it this year. The van's not under warranty. We don't need to have it done. One person who I spoke to said, "Oh, we managed to get it done a couple of weeks ago, but we forgot to call you." And everyone else has said, as soon as you're back up and running, give us a call. And yeah, we'll get you straight back in as soon as possible. So,
okay.
I don't think there's any denying that we're going to probably have a bit of a recession, but I think we're going to sort of just see a recession from the data, because we're going to have lost 3 months of the economy. There's no getting around that, but I think we'll have a massive recovery. People, unfortunately, there's going to be some job losses there. But I think for what the government have done, I think they've done the right thing. And I think 90% of people out there are going to sort of be in the same position as what they were before. Except now we're going to be looking at, actually, let's not go abroad, let's stop in this country. Or if we are going to go abroad, it's probably going to be in a caravan or motorhome.
And I think the people that are going to lose the jobs, there's going to be so many industries that are going to be so busy when it opens back up because of the backlog of work that maybe some of those jobs will be transferred back until the likes of the airlines and so on do get back up and running again, and it should balance itself out after a few months or a year.
I think the airlines are the ones who are going to have it the roughest.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, any travel side of things like that. There's some businesses that have absolutely stopped dead. And we just got to see when they can get back up and running again.
I suppose I look at it now by saying by going through a recession is we're at the lowest. So the only way is back up anyway.
Going up.
Yeah. If
back.
there any drops fall down, how far can it go?
The only reason it's dropped is because everything stopped. If it hadn't have been for what's been going on, we would have just been carrying on. There was no real rhyme or reason other than sort of we need to stop, we need to go into lockdown. That's the only reason. And I think 90% of the economy is still going to be there. So I think 12 months' time we're going to be above and beyond where we were now. So
it's like somebody's pressed the pause button.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the everything. There's so much. You know, whether it's car mechanics, whether it's the caravan and motorhome techs, you know, everything like that. Everything's still just imagine how busy the dealers are going to be when they need to start servicing those caravans.
I think servicing, and again, we've got sort of 2 months, maybe 3 months of pent up sales that are there. They're still going to be there. People may be sort of thinking, okay, let's put it on pause for a minute, but I think they're still going to be there. I think people that had planned to sort of buy a new caravan, buy a new motorhome, stop in this country for holidays, they're still going to be doing the same, if not more now. And if the job retention scheme has done what it's supposed to do, their job's still there, they still have the money in. They've been having all the money come in and they've not been able to spend it over the last couple of months.
Yeah, and that's 20%, and there are a lot of companies making that 20% up, and it is going to sit there, and you can't really spend it.
Yeah.
I can see people holidaying at home for the foreseeable future as flight costs are going to rocket. Do you think flight costs are going to rocket?
Yeah.
I think they'll probably be doing some stupid deals just to try and get themselves out of trouble. But it's just whether then people have got the confidence to get on a big buzz full of everybody else thinking, have I got coronavirus, or is somebody else going to pass me? And that's going to be the issue. So
yeah, I'm struggling to see them.
Yeah, I think short term, yes, the prices will, like you say, they'll be making silly offers to try and get people back on them. But I think, going into next year, I think flight prices are going to really fly up.
Yeah, they've got to get people back on board. They've got to make the offers too good for people not to consider it, just so they get back on those planes again. And the more people that start going on holiday again, the more they talk about it to the friends, and the more that people want to go abroad again. And then that's when you catch people, and that's when you can start rising your prices, supply and demand.
Yeah.
Would you go abroad this year, Shane?
It's got to be under the right circumstance. The only way I'd probably it's a very unique question, because I'd probably, if I did, go and see my family in America, and I'd go and stay at their house. It wouldn't be a sightseeing and into a busy city or anything like that.
What about you, Mark? Would you go abroad this year?
No, we've already said that even if we've got flights booked for later on in the year, we're only going away for 3 or 4 days, I think it was. But even if they turn around and say, "Yeah, brilliant, you can fly," we've said we're not going. We're not. It's not worth the risk.
No, it'd have to be It all depends. I mean, if everything's going well, and if they found a vaccine, then yeah, 100%. It's all relevant at the time of when you're looking to go.
What about you, Lee? Would you go away this year?
As things stand at the moment, no, not a chance.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. Yeah.
What about food then? Restaurants, takeaways? Because they're not going to open them when the holiday park's open, are they?
No.
Would anybody
I
feel
mean, a lot of
comfortable going to
takeaways
a
are
restaurant?
open anyway. And you know,
Have you had a takeaway?
delivery-wise, me? What are you trying to say? You call me fat? Yeah, we have. Yeah,
That's why you know they're open.
Is somebody
Is
take a
it-
seat?
Is it just us, or do you go and do your shopping and then clean everything? Do you clean all your packages before you put it away, or is that just us?
I actually saw someone in the supermarket car park doing that last week when I went in to do the shopping. And by the time I come out with all mine, they was still there doing it. And I just put the bags in. I thought, stuff that.
Sorry, guys, but my wife is still managing to spend it. Laugh out loud. I'm on travel groups, and people are saying they are going straight across the channel when borders are open.
Yeah, as we said earlier, it's the safest way to do it if you're in a motorhome or caravan. And there's always going to be some people that are just going to go for it anyway.
And the big thing is, when will the borders open?
Yeah, it's all going to be relevant at the right time. Is the best way to put it, because you don't know what the situation is going to be in 6 months. It might be good to go again.
So let's take it a month on now, and the holiday parks have opened. Lee, you go away in your motorhome. Would you go to a holiday park, or would you tend to do a bit of wilding?
I'm booked to go. I'm actually booked to go down to Devon in first week of July. So I'm hoping that they open, and if they do, I will go. But I will use my facilities in the van as opposed to, shower blocks and things like that. I think the big thing with being a motorhome and because we do go off grid, I'm pretty self-sufficient in there that we've got, good stocks of food and things, clothes within the van. So we don't really need to be traveling to supermarkets or worrying about eating out a lot. So, yeah, I'd still be going.
I hope you've got a big garage for your food.
What van have you got, Lee?
I've got Luna Roadster.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say Bailey then.
That's it's on a 53 plate. We were umming and ahhing on what to do, whether to swap from caravan to motorhome or not. Me and my son both do duathlons and things like that, so it was handy for us to be able to get something where we can put our bikes on the back and go and camp over for an event rather than having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and travel.
You're glad you did it, though.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I love it.
About to say, yeah. So you're glad. So would you go back to a caravan now?
No. Neither would the wife. No.
What about you regarding going to campsites or wild camping caravanning, Mark? What's your outlook?
I'd go to a campsite, no problem. Yeah, because again, I'll get in my car, hitch the caravan up, I'll get on site. Hopefully, I don't have to have any contact with anybody. They'll put something in place. The booking system will literally be, they'll send me a message. Somebody will be there to wave me on. I've not got to get into real close proximity to anybody. Hitch it up or unhitch it, put my legs down, and I'm in my own little self-sufficient unit sort of a thing. I can then go and do what I want. I've not got to sort of be getting in close proximity to people. And I think that's the only way that I'd feel safe. I don't know any other way to do it really.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be the best way. It's better than standing in the supermarket queue.
Yeah,
or going around a supermarket in the motorhome or caravan.
Look
but
what
again,
happened.
That's come quite reasonable with the social distancing, hasn't it? Where you've not got to get on top of people, you've not really got to come into contact with people in the supermarkets, and we've got used to that now.
Yeah, it's all normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just keeping the distance. Look what happened post-war. Caravans everywhere.
Yeah, that's when it started to take off. That's when it started to take off again after the war. They put the army into different areas, and they had to find jobs, and that was one that they could start going around the country again.
I've got a holiday to Philippines in September. I'm not going. I'm going to work my annual leave on agency instead. Not much you can
Fair
say that. Yeah.
Nope.
Loving those crossed fingers.
And toes.
Those fingers. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah,
Nobody knows what's going to happen, do they? And we can only hope for the best. But I think from the way everybody seems to be gearing up, would you want to get on an aeroplane and go away?
Hope you're safe, Prim.
Yeah, it's the being stuck abroad. It's fun while you're while everything's going going well abroad, but when it's not going well, it's the worst place to be, really. When you've not got anybody you know around you.
Most people will stay at home in Britain, with few people prepared to venture across the channel. They're going to have to limit the campsites, so aren't they, lads?
I really don't know about that because.
What's the distance already? What's the distance already on the site? There's already, if you look at social distancing, that distance measure's already in on the campsite. So do they? I think it's just going to be shut the toilets. That's a big contact point. Let's cut that out. Cut the bars out, and carry on as normal.
I mean, the other thing you as an alternative to shutting the toilet blocks down is do what they do at service stations and do one every other. And just get the cleaners on site.
Lee, you've heard it here first. Buy bulk toilet pumps.
Yeah.
You're going to be sick of changing them, aren't you?
Yeah, fresh up kits from Thetford.
Also with airfires, I was speaking to the director of Darla Flight, who said there will be a price war, low prices once everything settles down. There's always going to be a price war when it settles, though, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, funnily enough, I had my holiday booked, which I was meant to be going next month with Darla Flight, via a guy called Christian at Darla Flight, lovely guy, and that's been turned into vouchers, which I'm fine with. It means I've got it in the bank for when I want to use it, hopefully next year. It'll certainly be interesting. It'll be interesting to get their opinion on this, I think, and see where it's going to go. There's a different aspect.
Okay. What's your biggest gripe about caravans, Mark?
Yeah, they still can't build on.
They still can't build them.
Yeah. How on earth we're sort of where we are now, and they're not building vans that don't leak, like you say. They change all the design around, put a big roof strap over there that leaks. Why do that? And they seem to take one step forwards and two steps back, and it comes down to the new manufacturers, which is again why we only do used, we won't do new because of the issues. And then when you do have the issues, the manufacturer doesn't want to know. They're not there to help you. You're the one that gets all the full brunt of the customer. When the manufacturer just sits there and go, oh yeah, we'll send you the parts in how many days, and don't worry about it.
Is that the attitude, Mark, of like, oh, just bang them out to the dealers and let them sort it out?
I think so, yeah. If you look at a lot of the PDIs back in, because again, sort of early 2000s, I was PDI in Caravans, and sort of an hour and a half, you'd have PDI'd a brand new Caravan. It come out the factory fairly clean. Now you spend a day on a brand new Caravan, and then after the day, you're going, hang on a minute, is this going to get rejected by the customer when they come to pick this van up? Because there's this still wrong with it, and we can't do anything about it. There's chips out the laminates, and I think they need to pull it back a little bit and say, hang on a minute, we're overproducing. Let's either get the people in to build the vans right, who care and do the job properly, or we need to put a system in place where it gets put right before it comes out the factory, and we're not just putting it out to the dealer and going, you fix it. We've built it, now you finish it.
And the unfortunate thing is, and this is where I feel sorry for the new motorhome and caravan dealers, is they get the stick for it. the manufacturers don't
Yeah.
get the blame for it. It's the dealers that sold it, and it's not their fault, unfortunately. Most, a lot of the time, obviously there are points where it is, but a lot of the time it's just how it's come out of the factory.
Well, the other thing is you order a part for a van, and then sort of a common part, let's just say a locker, a new locker door, and you go to order it, and they're saying it's 28 days for delivery, and then you've got to explain to the customer, oh well, in a month's time. And it might turn into 2 months, because at this moment in time they're saying it's a month. But in a month's time, maybe 2 months' time, we might be able to fix that door and stop all the water coming in underneath your bed. That's not acceptable. That's not how the manufacturers should be working.
I waited 4 months once for an awning light from a manufacturer. 4 months.
You fitting them every day, Lee?
Yeah, but I've got to fit what they send me, and I've got a customer on the phone giving me grief, saying, what's happening with my awning light? This has been, going on for so long, it's ridiculous. And the thing is, the customer thinks it's you that's the problem, and it's not. You
he hasn't ordered it. He's forgot, hasn't he? You must have done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's your biggest gripe?
Me. Same sort of thing, really. Is if you've got a warranty issue, it's the time it takes to get things. As an approved workshop, I'm certain manufacturers will allow me to do their warranty repairs. So it's the time it takes to get things, and then that's the big problem, is people come to you thinking you're the issue, and it doesn't look good on you, that when you've got to tell people that, I'm sorry, it's still not here, and it's an awning light. How long does it take? And it's just not fair.
Yeah, we once ordered a brake light for an auto cruise. This was going back a few years now, and I think it was about 10 months until we got hold of it. 10 months.
Try and get hold of a window as well.
Yeah.
Windows are.
Unfortunately, people see cars where you've got Euro car parts. You ring up, 10 minutes later you picked it up, and that's where it's not quite the same, unfortunately.
I'm actually waiting for a window at the minute that all right, yeah, I know things as they are, but I think at the minute I've been waiting for 9 weeks for that window, and there's still no sign of it. So when it'll turn up, I don't know.
Windows are notorious, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
really are. Martin, what do you guys think of Burster Motorhomes for our first motorhome? Thinking of travelling down to Spain next year. They look good quality.
It'd be interesting to hear Lee's points on this. I really like Burster personally.
Yeah, I like Burster Motorhomes. Again, especially if you're going to be going abroad with it, they're set up for it. They are set up to go abroad. They've got the outdoor living set up, haven't they? Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad you said that.
Ideal.
After I've just bought 2 Baileys and you've not given them very good reviews, and the other one I've bought recently is a Burster. I'm glad you haven't whitewashed me. So.
No, they are a good van Burster. One of my friends was adamant he wants a Burster, and we wanted one with a great big garage on it and things like that. And every time we went away anywhere, he was like, "Oh yeah, I like that one." But they're a nice van. You come across any Bursters, Mark?
No. We do. we do occasionally do motorhomes, but not many. So no.
Still not then, has it?
Yeah.
Next.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what model are you looking at, Martin. I'm just intrigued to see what your preference is.
Anthony, good points. Too many people getting fat with greed and not caring one dot about punter. Would you agree with that?
Some people you'll find that way. It's hit and miss. A bit like anything. You will in some industries, you won't in others.
Again, it all comes down to who you're dealing with, doesn't it? At the end of the day, you got to. I think you got to find the smaller little dealers that care about you, and you're not just a number.
Yeah.
like the Caravan Place.
I don't mind the dealers being like that because it just makes more work for me because they just don't want it. They lose confidence in the dealers, and then all of a sudden they're on the phone to you saying, "Look, will you look after the van for me? Now we've got it," which is great for me.
It's just about being straight with people, isn't it? If you've cocked up, I've cocked up.
I think the other thing is, it's like you, and I know you work exactly the same as we do, Jace. If somebody rings up, you can't stop problems. There is things going to go wrong. You can service it and go through a van and do as much as you can possibly do, but still things will go wrong. But it's then how that's dealt with. If the man rings you up and says, "Look, this has gone wrong," right, get it into us. We're going to forget everything else. We're going to fix that and make sure it's right for you. And that needs to be put right, and that's the priority, rather than turning around and going, "Oh, well, in 8 weeks' time, we can have a look at it for you, and then bring it back in another 8 weeks, and we'll probably fix it then." And I think that's what it all comes down to, is how you deal with the customers and how you deal with problems.
Yeah, we treat problems as number one. Somebody rings in and's got a problem, I'll bring it in.
And there's nothing worse than somebody who you ask, or you try and get hold of, and you can't get hold of them, or you ask the question and 5 days later they still haven't called you back. If you just, as you said, if you're straight with people can accept that there's going to be problems. If you do it any other way and you don't treat people how they should be, then that's when you are going to get problems, without a doubt.
I think that's the same with stuff that I'm doing as well. I mean, there's guys out there that will agree to do jobs that they're not skilled enough to do. I've turned jobs away before now because I said, "Look, I'm not comfortable to do that." And I think, people appreciate that honesty off you.
Yeah. It's not, there's no point doing it for the sake of, is it?
No, because you do a bad job and then they tell everyone.
Yeah. Mark. How can we feel safe if we want to come and buy Caravan or Motorhome?
So I think it's up to us as dealers now. We've got to put in, and we've not just got to look at what the government say, this is what we should be doing. We've got to go
over
above and beyond that.
Yeah.
We've got to go, hang on a minute. If it was my family and I was going to put them into a situation that could potentially give them an infection or a disease or something, I want to make sure that I've done as much for myself and my family as much as when a customer comes in. So I want to make sure that firstly they feel safe, and when somebody looks at all the things that we've put into place, where we're putting hand wash units around the pitch, I think I said it earlier, we're going to disinfect everything before a customer goes in. All of our vans are going to be locked up. We're going to put screens around the sales area, so again you can actually have a conversation with somebody and ask questions in safety. And I think people just need to feel safe, and it's up to us then to make the people feel safe and look at it and go, hang on a minute, if it was me and I was going to go out and buy something, this is what I'd want to see. I don't really care what the government has said. I'm going to do what the government has said, but I want to go above and beyond that. I want to put everybody at safety. I'd hate for somebody to come into us and then go away and find out that they've caught COVID from here or something like that. That's I wouldn't want that for my family. So why put anybody else in danger?
Yeah, sure. And I think something to add to that, just great answer. And I think just on the other aspect of it is make sure you are 100% that motorhome or caravan is real and exists, because there's going to be people that will take advantage. Don't just blindly go out and put a deposit on something or buy something without knowing it's a reputable dealer. Do your research.
That's a great point, Shane. I never thought of that. Yeah,
people are going to take advantage right now, and unfortunately it's not fair, but that's what it is. But you just got to make sure, and this is where I think a lot of the videos on YouTube, stuff like me and Jason have been doing for a good while now, will just get that confidence out, because you can actually see people, and that'll make such a difference when you're on the phone to them and you recognize them and you can speak about things that you've already seen on the channel.
Yeah, I think that people are still going to want to come and look and see even once you've done all the video. How many times have you had somebody that has rung up and says, I want to come and see this, I'm really interested in it, they've turned up and then they've gone, oh, that's not what I thought, and they've ended up buying something completely differently. And I think we've got to do all the work in the first place so people feel confident and they can see everything that we've got, and they can probably come then and sort of go, right, I've got 2 or 3 that I want to look at. I can be here for as short amount of time as possible. I don't know whether the delivery service for our industry is going to work.
No, people like to come and see motorhomes and caravans. Anthony, my history is sports cars. Some work, some didn't. Mechanical things go wrong. Not really anyone's person's fault. I think Lee'll agree with me. That's correct. But if something doesn't work and they don't rectify it, it's a different kettle of fish. And stop saying, well, it was working when I checked it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's something you hear of a lot. It's people, I actually get people who've rung me before now and said, oh, you serviced my caravan the other day and now something's not working. You say, okay, when did I come and do it? And they'll say like 6 months ago. Well, there's a lot of times passed since then. Things go wrong. There's not a lot you can do about that. But yeah, it is. You got to understand that things do fail eventually.
Yeah.
I think it comes back to then how that's dealt with by whoever you've bought it, or if you've just serviced a caravan and then something has gone wrong, I'm sure you'd be saying, let me come and have a look at it. If I've got it wrong, I've got it wrong. But
if it was a couple of days later, then you'd be saying, okay, I'll come and have a look and see what I can do. And to be fair, even 6 months down the line, I'd still be willing to go out and have a look and see, what we can do to sort the problem. But people do have to understand that things will mechanically fail.
There's got to be a balance, hasn't there?
No, Lily, we're not getting a motorhome. We're in a recession, and you've eaten all the profits.
You want a caravan? That's what you want.
What, a Luna Delta?
As well.
Can we start booing every time Mark says we need to get a caravan?
I'm going to get a cheer channel.
Pick a deal out, make an appointment, make sure they are following the guidelines. I think your comment was a great comment, Mark, to be honest. Is if I was going to take my family to go and buy a caravan or a motorhome, that's what you'd put into place. I think such a good. Just want to reiterate that again, Mark.
And the other thing is with that, with the likes of YouTube channels where people, will do online videos of what's inside a caravan or motorhome, you can have a look at layouts prior to go into a dealership. So, you've got that opportunity to keep yourself safe as well and know what you actually want before you go.
Yeah, rather than having to go around 20, 30 different motorhomes before you decide. If you have a good look, speak to different people and find out what works and what doesn't.
But again,
go on, sorry,
we're still going to do it where if somebody says, oh, I'm not too sure, I've looked and I've got a few, fair enough, come down, we'll make sure everything's been cleaned, sanitised, and they can still go through. We will unlock the vans before they get here, so we'll have opened a range of vans up. They can still go through them. We'll still sanitise them, disinfect them afterwards. And then if they do buy one, I think I said again earlier, we're gonna seal once they've been cleaned and ready for the collection. We're gonna seal the door, put a little date on, so they know when the last person was in. I think
that's fair play. Fair play. I might pinch that.
I was going to say you've got to what you game now, Jason.
Yeah, Mark, I think you've really sat down and thought about it, haven't you?
We've got to. We've got to. We're going into a completely new territory. We've not done it, and it's a bit like buying your first caravan or motorhome. You sit there and you look at all the different things, and you think, "Oh, what should I do?" And you're scared to make the wrong decision. You're worried about actually doing it for making the wrong decision. But actually, when you sit there and you go, "Hang on a minute, if I don't start doing it now, and I can only just do as much as I can possibly do." and put for our situation now, put as much as we can possibly put in. We've just got to do it. Forget about waiting for government guidance, because trying to order things at the minute, it's taking a week, 2 weeks for things to turn up. By the time we open, we want to be ready to go. So I think it needs doing now, and we've got to spend the time and make sure that what we're doing is right now.
Yeah, I think I've got my ideas of what I wanted to do, but I think what you've just done then is you're opened my eyes to go, hang on, yeah, we can go even further. From just tonight's talk, yeah, I get it. I get, yeah.
I am going to start a consultancy as well. So if you want to have a little video chat later and paper, £100 an hour, I was thinking, or something like that, you're more than welcome.
We'll call it quits on you coming on here and promoting.
Yeah.
Anything about changing yourself? What he said, Lee, Mark, they're good points, mate, aren't they?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I don't have that flexibility to be able to leave a van and no one's going to go in it for 2 or 3 days. You know, as a rule of thumb, you know, people are normally moved stuff out for me to do the service, and then the minute I'm gone, they're putting things back inside it. So for me, it's just a case of trying to do things as I go along, rather than, you know, like Mark saying, seal a van up and say that's it. If you know, if when I can get back and yards aren't open, campsites aren't open, and I'm getting onto storage yards, etc., then yeah, I've got that option to do something like that. But yeah, as a rule of thumb, it's just going to be a case of keeping everything clean as I go along. For the foreseeable, to be honest with you, it's not going to be a 5-minute thing.
And I suppose if you do go somewhere and you don't feel comfortable, it's just get in the car and go, get in the van and go.
Yeah. People, I think it's making people aware, you know, that look, whilst I'm here, you know, I've got your keys. There's no need for you to come out now. I've got me flask of coffee and bottle of water. You know, I don't need anything. Just leave me to it, and I'll crack on.
Lee, is Aldi heating easy to fix if it's leaking?
Depends where it's leaking. If it's leaking at the header tank, it's not such a bad one, because you've only got to drain the header tank. If it's leaking on one of the convectors or around the boiler, then you've got to drain the whole system to get everything out of it, and then you've got to put it all back together and see if you fix the leak. So yeah, it's not an easy fix unless it's around the header tank.
And what's your favourite heating system, Lee?
There's pros and cons to both. The Alda's a good system, providing it's maintained. Obviously, you know, from 2020, Alda have previously there was the 2-year fluid in, and after 2 years, it should have been changed for the 5-year fluid. From 2020, Alda insisted that all manufacturers have got to put 5-year fluid in from day dot.
Right.
But the Alda system is a great system. It just takes longer to heat up. But once it's up to temperature and you shut it off, you've got that heat circulating for longer. Whereas with the Truma system, it warms up a lot quicker, but as soon as you switch it off, it cools down a lot quicker. So,
and what about Whale?
Whale are a good system.
Sitting on the fence, isn't he?
Yeah, they are a good system. I have to for Whale because I'm their regional warranty agent.
Are you busy?
Yeah, I bet. No end of problem.
That is probably the heating system that I have least amount of faults with is the Whale one. Yeah, I do very little repairs on Whale systems.
And are you sponsored by Whale, Lee?
It looks like
it. we have nothing but problem with Whale.
Really?
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't have any issues with Whale stuff. But then again, you don't see as much of Whale as you do of Alda and Truma.
On the mainly in the Baileys.
Yeah.
The Whales.
Yeah, that's the best bit of a Bailey.
What are we going to next? Let's have a look. Where am I up to? This is the thing with kids. They're persistent, aren't they? They just grind you down. Grind
Look
you
at that
down.
little face. How can you say no?
Hi,
No.
Dad. I'll be getting a motorhome soon. Yes, Lily. He was talking to me about it earlier.
You told me as well.
Right, not sure hand sanitizer will make the vehicle work better.
Depends what it is.
Seen as believing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, with the new announcements, we will be able to go and see, or certainly collect something.
I was told delivering is okay.
Delivering is okay, but dealers are worried about, and I'm sure you can understand this, about the distance selling, because if you prep something up, get a load of money into it, a lot of time and effort into it, then deliver it 200 miles away, and so I say, actually, I don't want this, they can just reject it straight away. And it's not what a dealer wants.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing delivering. People, unfortunately, people are going to use and abuse the system. They're going to, I'll have a caravan or motorhome. I'll go away on my 2 weeks holiday. I'll come back. No, I don't want anymore. And that will happen. That will happen. So no, I always try and do things where I'd always do it how I'd want to be treated, or I'd treat other people how I'd want to be treated. But I think, unfortunately, not everyone's like that, and people are going to use and abuse the system.
Now, this is where it's going to sort the men from the boys here. Customer needs choice virtually or conventionally. Basically, motorhome dealers now have got to start accepting online and all the platforms that are available. Me and Shane have embraced it quite a bit. You were just coming around to it, Mark, aren't you?
Yeah. We've been doing a little bit, but we're going into it full steam ahead now.
I mean, it takes a hell of a long time for the dealers to learn it. I mean, how long have we been doing it, Jason? A couple of years, something like that, and we're still learning a hell of a lot. And obviously, that's led on to this show.
Yeah, it's like I think quite a few of the dealers had to play at YouTube and things like that, and they give up realizing how much work's involved. But the internet, since this happens, has exploded because people have been stuck in. Now, older people who buy the motorhomes have probably never embraced the internet as much, but they've had the time then to go, oh, I can do this on it, I can do that, I can do this. And dealers, if they don't catch up, they're going to get left behind. And I'm talking big dealers, where you've got big dealers who've got Twitter accounts with like 100 followers who tweet once a month. It can't happen.
No,
it's got to change things.
Yeah, I mean, it's even like my website rankings. We've gone up in the rankings because all of a sudden everybody's stopped and people aren't visiting the websites, and it's the same for everything. The views on our videos are going up and up and up because people are watching them more. And as Jason just said, the older generation who weren't really using iPads and things like that, they've got to pick up the iPad now to talk to the family because they can't go and see them. And while they're on there, the kids are told them about YouTube, and all of a sudden they're on the YouTube channels and looking at different motorhomes and how to fix the motorhomes, accessories for motorhomes, and everything like that.
That's one of the things that we did when we went into lockdown, Mark. Is what we're racking in 12-hour days, aren't we? Social media.
Yeah. Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
What time did I get up? I left it. Yeah, it was about 14 hours yesterday. I was on the computer.
Probably a lot of dealers are just sitting on their hands. Our attitude when we went into this was, right, maximum exposure. Where can we get the exposure? YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, Twitter. There's so much out there. Now, people say, like TikTok, it's kids up to about 16 and 18. Do you know last month, 21 to 45-year-olds have caught up with the people on TikTok? 8 years ago on Facebook, people would say, no, it's just for college kids, just for students. Everybody uses it now. Just be joking.
Times are changing.
And Facebook for me has been my advertiser. You know, when I first started up, people said to me, have you got a Facebook business page? No, get one done. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. And that's it. It's out there.
And a Facebook. Go on, sorry, Jason.
Sorry, gone are the days where you can just spend. If you spend £1,000 on an advert in a Motorhome magazine or whatever, it's there for a month, then it's thrown away. you put things on YouTube and all the other platforms, it's there all the time. Good, relevant content. Give people value. Don't just take all the time. My YouTube exploded this month. Exploded.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like when we go to the shows and do the new vans and go around the new vans. There's going to be people buying one of them in 20 years' time, wanting to know all about it.
And to be honest with the comment, don't we? We'll be honest.
Yeah. We've got no ties to anybody.
Yeah, just be honest. But it's something more, like I said, I think you're starting to embrace, mate, now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're trying to build up videos, and not just saying here's a caravan, buy it. It's trying to do all the other background work as well. And actually, where else are customers going to be looking? Are they going to be looking at different things? What, even down to tow car for us. We need a tow car. Can my car tow that caravan? So you've got to look at all aspects of it and sort of cover all bases. And it's not just that person that's sat there today looking on or thinking about a caravan. It's people that have already got caravans and are looking for hints and tips, and hopefully that will stay in their memory and think, oh, look, they did a really good video, and they also looked at some of the stuff on their channel, and so yeah, I think that's the way forward, definitely.
I think like Lee's just said as well, going back a few years ago when the Facebook wasn't about, it'd be so much harder for you to generate your business, Lee.
Yeah, it was a case of having to pay for advertising. I mean, I used to put advert out in a couple of local magazines, which used to cost me money. Fortunately, I'm in a position now that I don't advertise. I don't have to advertise. Most of my custom comes from word of mouth because I've built up enough of a customer base to be able to carry on. But yeah, it was definitely a help to have that option there when I got to that stage. To be able to promote yourself there, where then if you want to spend a bit on it, you can boost your ads and things like that. But it's easy to do. It's not difficult.
And as well as still keeping the old ways as well. Now, Shane, do you know when Mark was trying to get £100 out of us earlier?
Yes.
I think I know why now. He's paid someone. Mark is the most genuine person I know. Goes above and beyond to help people. Keep up the good work, Mark.
Hi, Mark's mum.
She actually worked for us quite a few years ago.
And on Friday's show, we have Sandra Miles basically telling us. Sorry,
see, what better advert can you get than that, than an ex-employee? You'd have thought an old employee would be like, "Oh, blimey, he was awful, terrible." So that's
we would
thanks,
actually
Sandra.
With you, Mark, yeah.
Yeah.
With you, Mark, yeah.
Carly's trying to convert you, Mark. You need a T5.
Not sure about that. No.
You're either pro them or you're not.
Yeah, no, I think I can see the bonuses, and if it was just for a weekend or a night away, then yeah, fantastic. It's a lot of aggro to hitch the caravan up, get everything ready, off you go. And I can see there's fors and against for everything, isn't there? And it just depends what suits you best. But yeah, I won't be getting a motorhome.
I think basically, Mark, you're absolutely spot on. Like data ID and how you go to look after you. How are you going to look after your staff? There you go. They'll all be X by the sound of it.
Yeah. Again, I've not seen anything what the government are going to do, but I think face masks, hand sanitizer, making sure that we've disinfected everywhere. So even if somebody came on, and you've probably seen it, the asymptomatic, where people have got the virus, but they're not showing any signs, but they're going in. That can just be talking to you and spreading the virus. So I think key is going to be, as soon as anybody has been in, disinfect everything. If they've been in a caravan, if they've touched it, disinfect absolutely everything. It's going to keep us safe, them safe. And I think we've just got to do.
What about wearing gloves, Shane? Mark?
I think service engineers were going to make sure that they wear the gloves, and I can sort of see fors and against with the gloves. I think salespeople are going to make sure that they're washing their hands. So there's going to be a bit of a balance there of exactly who it is. Probably the cleaners. I think we're going to get them to wear gloves. And again, once they've they're going to be handling disinfectant, so hopefully they can just disinfect the gloves as they're going along as well. But I think probably the salesperson, I think it's going to be a case of hand sanitizer, bare hands, mask. But
I think it's so cool to see older people like Mark, Shane, and Lee making content on YouTube.
No, I think
because it ends up being so unique.
Just Jason.
I'm not answering that.
I'm surprised you could even work the internet, to be honest.
We've had this we've had this idea for about a year.
I watched Jason's video already tonight before the show started.
Someone else has been paid. No, who's next?
Facebook is dead now. Insta, YouTube, TikTok are becoming the bigger ones. Yeah, it's all about jumping onto the platforms. Some will work, some won't work, and it's all about content at the end of the day.
Yeah, and the good thing, well, the thing about our industry, which is the motorhome caravan, it tends to be the older generation, mid to older generation, and they're obviously a little bit behind the younger generation, which is TikTok and so on.
Don't think they will have to come out of here, mate. A lot of time on their hands.
Yeah. But what I mean is they're still very much on Facebook compared to the other.
Yeah, because they're catching up.
And then they'll catch up, and then they'll move on to Insta, Twitter, and so on.
Love the gas. It's really fascinating. But are we all talking drivel until 6 months' time when we see any truth in the outcome?
Absolutely.
Nobody knows.
I suppose we could sit here and just not have a view.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about all of this, we don't know what it's going to be like when we do come out of lockdown. Is there going to be no transmission at all by the time we're on sites? We really don't know. So it might, all this safety stuff might be slightly irrelevant, or there might be something vaccination for it.
Just a quickie, mate. We had a little bit of a quiz, didn't you, that you put together on caravans?
Yes.
I've just got to
specifically.
You won't answer these. You won't know these.
Probably not. Are they real, proper, good, interesting facts, or is it just history?
Depends if you like caravans or not. So no.
Come on then. Hit me with it.
I'm sort of going to roll this into one, Jason, after what we spoke about before. Okay, so name the top 5 countries with the most touring caravans in Europe in order. So the top 5 countries for caravans in Europe.
Well, I'd have thought that we're getting... France is probably going to be the top because that's the first one that we come into. And then it's going to slowly go away from that. So you're going to be Germany, Italy, Spain. I'm struggling after that. Where else would anyone want to go? Yeah, I think France, number 1. Probably Spain, number 2. Germany, number 3. Italy, number 4. Was there a 5th?
I don't know. You haven't given me one yet.
Clues are the top 5.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I said. Yeah. I don't know about the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Portugal. Yeah.
Lee?
Portugal.
A lot of customers go Portugal.
Good shout.
Okay.
What would you go at, Lee?
So top 5.
I would say France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Portugal.
So here's a question for you. Why France?
That's the first one that you come to, isn't it?
But
from England, yeah.
Yeah, from England. But what's the most? What's the top 5 in Europe for caravans?
All right.
Oh, for people owning caravans, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Right.
People owning
Sorry.
This is Jay.
I thought you meant going on holiday.
No,
It wasn't my quiz.
Germany's number 1.
Yep. Number 2.
Spain, Belgium, France. I'm struggling again. Germany's got to be number 1.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give it away. So Germany is number 1 with 654,100 caravans.
This was from last year, wasn't it, Shane?
This was 2019, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have
They're all
changed.
sold
much.
at the
Nobody
moment.
can buy one. Go on,
I'll do
story.
this year if you want.
Number 2.
It's got to be Spain.
UK.
Yeah, I'd have said
Oh
you.
yeah.
I was going
We're
to say
not part of
UK.
we're not part of the EU anymore. This
But
is
we
a
were.
gone. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, UK with 555,000.
Yeah.
Number 3,
Spain.
France.
France.
Is it France? Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be
I said it at the same time.
France and Spain have got to be close, haven't they?
No.
Miles away.
498,000. Fourth?
Oh.
I thought it was going to be Spain.
Just keep saying Spain, they'll get it right sooner or later.
Leeds
Can't
is fourth.
lose.
I'd go for Spain 4th.
See, we missed a big
Can't just-
country. We missed a big caravan country in this. Netherlands with 462,000. Now, last but not least, number 5.
Spain.
I've got a feeling you might get this one right.
It's got to be France. It's got to be
Who are we going
France. Spain. Got to be.
No.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, France. Yeah.
330,000.
Yeah.
We
I
got there
thought
eventually.
Spain. I thought Spain would have had more than that. To be fair.
I can't say we really come across. Well, there's not. I'm just trying to think by manufacturer. Really, obviously Germany's up there.
But they're
With a
surrounded,
lot- with a
aren't they?
lot.
Yeah, they're surrounded by manufacturers.
Yeah.
So you'd have thought there'd be, and I know that there's a lot more sort of campsites and whatever in Spain. So surprising.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think we're about there. I think
Nearly
it's
2
been nice
hours.
having the two on. Yeah, nearly 2 hours. Been nice having the both of you on.
Pleasure.
Also, leader.
Nice to be.
Yeah.
Nice to be invited.
Mark?
Yeah, no, good chat. Yeah, some nice, interesting things, and again, it's getting different people's points of view, isn't it? No one knows what's going to happen.
No.
We don't know what the future holds. We can only be as hopeful as possible. So yeah, fingers crossed.
If you've got any questions for the next show, some really nice technical motorhome questions, I'm sure Lee will be happy to answer.
You haven't said he'll be on yet.
Lee's on Friday. He
Just
don't
a
know it
quickie,
yet, but he is.
Lee, Paul, when would the Aldi fluid need changing on my motorhome, which is coming up to its first anniversary for the habitation?
Next year, after second year service for anything pre-2020.
Oh yeah.
When can I come and annoy you all again?
Any day.
Friday, isn't it?
It is
We're on
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, we're on Friday,
Yeah,
aren't we?
so Friday night, as we said at the top of the show, we got Jason from Forefront on at 7 p.m. I think we're going to stick to a more consistent 7 p.m. time now, and it's going to be a VE Day special.
Ooh.
Ooh,
What's happening? Mark, do
you'll
you want to
have to find out
come on
Friday.
again and give your take on caravans?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I think it helps having a balance between the caravans and motorhomes. Give you a run for your money.
And we'll have a chat with Lee, see if we can get him on doing some of the tips of advice, eh?
yeah, our resident technician.
All right, thanks everybody. If you want any questions, follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. We'll see you all Friday. Thanks everybody.
Stay safe.
Cheers.
Bye.
Take care.
My arm's aching, Jason.